Good afternoon, Parkland family and friends.
Hi, Parkland.
It's Beth and Jason with this week's edition of the Bulletin. So today, let's start with this past Sunday, and I thought it went great. Everything
It was a
went
great
well.
Sunday. We had a full room. I think it's the highest
I believe
that we've
so.
been. We're over 300, I think.
Yeah,
if I saw the
I think
numbers
so.
right.
Yes,
So
yes, 310, 311, somewhere above 300. So that's great.
the room was full with
That's
people
right.
singing, and it was just
The
a great
orchestra's
time.
coming back, so the trumpet and the flute added amazement to the
Yes.
music, and we started learning about Jonah. So that was great.
I love Jonah.
Yeah, I think I'm Jonah, but we'll get to that later. All right, so
And then Sunday night we had a wonderful time
Yes,
of prayer.
we
And
did.
If y'all not coming on Sunday nights for prayer, y'all are really missing.
yeah,
a great
Jason and I have been
worship
talking about this. We know there's a tendency to not want to come back on Sunday night, and you're not really. Some people may feel that prayer is like not interactive, and they think. But it's just so much more than reading a prayer list.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night we prayed for. We wrote down a prayer request for ourselves, our family, our church, and our world.
Yes.
And then with no names on them, and then we shared them and we prayed for each other's. And
It was nice hearing people pray out loud
Yes,
for your
yes,
prayer
yes.
requests and different people praying. It was just a wonderful time.
It was. So if you're not coming to those prayer times, we encourage you to come on over and join us for prayer. So
Very much so.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot to talk about this week. So the
We
first
do.
big thing that's coming up is
come on, basketball. Brett is ready for this. I think he needs a couple of coaches.
He does.
So if you'd like to coach, make sure you call him. And then he also needs some helpers.
Yes.
You don't have to know a thing about basketball. You just have to keep the kids there and make sure you know what shirt color your team has so you got all your kids.
and check-in
Check-ins, yes.
and devotional people.
Yes. Devotional will be at halftime. And if you don't really want to sign up for anything official, we would love it if you would just pick a Saturday and come by. I think the games are going to run from 9 to 3. So you could stop in and see a guest, see a parent you don't know, and just introduce yourself. And because it's a really great outreach ministry thing. So we got lots of official jobs, but then if you just want to come hang out for a while, that'd be great too.
And last fall we had 150 kids, or 120 some kids, and then plus their parents.
Right.
So you're
Right.
200 people in and out of our building from the community each week.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
we talk about going door to door to visit people. Well, the Lord's bringing the people
It's
here,
us,
so it's a really neat ministry that we have.
It is. And share with your neighbors. If you have neighbors that have children or grandchildren, make sure they know it's just $10, and that basically pays for their T-shirt and their trophy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then we've got this is the QR code. If you want to pause the WPBC for just a second and scan this QR code, or look on the Facebook feed or our church website, that'll send you to the link to register.
And I believe it's on the back of the paper bulletins on Sunday. So take one of those home with you or do it Sunday morning or something.
And you want to know more about this, watch WPBC from last week, because I had the opportunity to talk to Brett about basketball.
Yes. All right, church cookout. We're trying to train ourselves not to say church picnic because we're really cooking outside, so it's more of a cooking. It's August 25th. Now, that's a Wednesday. Our previous church picnics have been on Sunday, but this is a Wednesday from 6 to 8 at Broad Run. That's the same place we've gone before. If you've never been before, it's kind of like out toward Fern Creek, past Fern Creek, out toward Mount
you're
Washington.
going to Mount Washington.
Yes. So we'll give you more details about this as we get closer, about what to bring and all that kind of stuff. But just put that on your calendar, Wednesday night, the 25th.
It'll be a lot of fun because the splash pad's there, the playground's there. There's a huge area to play games, and it's a really nice time.
It is, yes. Okay, men's retreat.
Okay, now the men's retreat, I think the spots are filling up.
They are.
Fast, and it will be August the 27th and 28th. That's the last weekend in August, and Sunday starts August. So if you're a last minute person, it's the last minute.
Yeah, and sometimes people will say the spots are filling up fast, and it's like a marketing ploy to get you to hurry up, and you're thinking, no, they're not. Well, we're not. This is not a ploy.
I think we're at 21 people.
And they're only taking 32 or something.
Yeah.
So the spots really are filling up because it's at a state park, so we need to know if you're going. So.
And it's $100, and that $100 includes your lodging and your meals. I think it was supper.
Breakfast, lunch, maybe?
supper Saturday night, Friday night, and then breakfast, and it's a buffet. And the last time we were there, it was phenomenal. And so.
And then do you get lunch there too?
I think so. I think lunch may be
yeah.
included.
Okay.
Lunch is included in that, so
Okay.
it includes all of that stuff plus the transportation there and back.
You
and
can eat a
it's
ride,
just-
yeah.
So please, please, please sign up.
Okay, let's see, next. Oh,
I can't believe.
I know it. Fall Wednesday evening events start September 1st, which is like almost exactly a month from now. And earlier today, I had a chance to sit down with Pastor PK. He's our discipleship pastor, and he's to talk about some of the things we're doing on Wednesdays for adults. And so we'll go to that interview right now. Good afternoon. We're here today with Pastor PK Spratt, who is Parkland's discipleship pastor. And what we've been doing is last week Jason interviewed Brett about upcoming fall basketball, and then we'll do, Jason and I are going to interview each other about children and student events, and then our last interview will be Pastor Chris with a summary.
Okay.
So we're going to do one a week, one person a week. So this is your week, and so we just need you to tell the Parkland people kind of what's going on Wednesday nights starting September 1st. For adults, and Sunday nights as well. Sunday and Wednesday nights for adults starting September 1st.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so whichever day you want to take first.
Well, let me start Wednesdays. One thing that we're starting to do, we're offering a course, if you will, or really it's a support group, Beth,
Okay.
called Griefshare.
Okay.
Griefshare is a nationwide organization that basically deals with that subject of grief.
Okay.
If you've had the loss of a family member, a friend, a neighbor, this is a support group that will help you. It's actually kind of a study,
Okay.
but also feeds into that support group. It's nationwide. I mean, you can go to their website, plug in your zip code,
Okay.
and it will pull up grief support groups that are meeting across Greater Louisville.
Okay.
And right now there's probably 4 or 5 groups meeting across the city.
Okay.
We'll be starting that in September.
And that's on Wednesdays.
That's on Wednesday,
So
starting September 1.
Okay.
It'll be from 6 to up to 2 hours of,
Okay.
of group time.
All right.
It's video driven, workbook driven. There's a workbook with that.
Okay.
And just especially coming out of COVID, there's been many out in our community, in our church, that have lost loved ones. And really, it's a time. I heard this, that one of the most difficult things with coming out of COVID is people dealing with grief.
Sure.
Because as we know, funerals were just
Right. Didn't get to have a
abrupt,
real closure.
didn't have a real
Yes.
closure. So
Yes.
this maybe will help with that.
Okay.
We did it. In my last church I served in, as a matter of fact, my wife led one after the loss of our daughter.
Okay.
And I would highly encourage that and recommend that.
Now this is only for adults.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I would say an older child, or a younger adult, like a student, maybe could
Okay.
attend if they wanted to.
Okay.
But yeah, this is
Okay. Mainly geared
yes,
for
yeah,
adults.
mainly for adults. But you did ask a good question about
Okay.
students. Yeah.
All right. So that's a Wednesday.
That's
Anything
Wednesday.
else on Wednesday?
Wednesdays also is what Pastor Chris will be doing on Wednesdays. A lot of people want to ask about that. But we're going to kick this off on September 1. We're going to be working through a book called 10 Questions to Diagnose Your Spiritual Health. It's written by Dr. Donald Whitney. Dr. Whitney is a professor at Southern Seminary. This book has been out for a number of years, but this is a revision of that book.
Okay.
And he actually will be on site on the 1st of September to kick this off.
Okay.
And
Good.
so then Pastor Chris each week will be working through
Doing
these.
one of the questions.
Yes, one of the
Okay.
questions of the week. And in the back of the book, there are discussion questions and questions that can help prompt you in that event. I don't know
Okay.
how Chris will totally do it, but this can be used in small groups as well. Now, our current RD groups, we're encouraging them to read through this, and there will be some time given for some brief discussion with this during the RD groups.
Okay, but this
So-
Wednesday night thing is going to be kind of like a large group.
Church-wide, yes,
Okay,
yes.
church-wide.
And what's
Okay.
happening is Pastor Chris is going to be doing some things in the sanctuary in a group that parents show up, or those that want to show up for a Wednesday evening experience where they're not, obviously they may have children in one of the activities
Right,
or students
right.
in the programming, or anybody wants to come
Sure.
to do this. So this
Okay.
is one thing they're doing there.
Now, I try to ask questions that people at home might have. If you're not here for question 1, can you jump in on question 2?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
And this does not build off the other.
Okay,
off
good.
one. But you can obviously have the book, read what's going on. For example, the first question is, do you thirst for God?
Okay.
And so it just walks you through various disciplines, various levels of our spiritual maturity that we should be indicators of what we're doing.
Okay.
One is, do we want to gather with others?
Okay.
Question 6 is, do you delight in the bride of Jesus Christ? It is the church. Do you delight, enjoy being in the church?
Excellent, excellent. So that's so 2 options on Wednesday nights.
Yes, 2 options on Wednesday nights, Griefshare and then this. But one thing I do want to bring up too, and you mentioned Sunday nights, but this is Sunday nights. This is really not a Sunday night thing, but this could be any of the week thing, is our RD groups. So first of all, a lot of people are asking, what if I want to get into a group? You can start a group right now.
Okay.
Anybody can start a group. If you feel God leading you to start a group or want to get in a group, I'll be glad to work with you on helping to form a group.
Okay.
It's a little difficult to jump right into an existing group because we try to target those groups to be 3 to 5. 4 is the ideal number.
They form some bonds.
Yes, and they form some bonds,
yes.
and so jumping right in may create a little disruption, but we could get enough to at least to start a group.
Okay.
And it's not rocket science to lead a group, so you don't feel you have to be this great teacher or whatever, because it's more the group sharing and investing in what God's teaching me and what am I doing about it. But it's this fall. September is going to be a good period of time to jump into a group, because we're going to start back in. We're going to start in the New Testament. And why I say start back into the New Testament, if you remember, we started in January in Genesis, went up to the early part of the book of Exodus, then we jumped into the Gospels. The 4 Gospels took us up to Easter.
Yes.
Went back to the Old Testament. So September-ish will be a good break point where we're getting into Acts and moving forward. Pastor Chris will also be starting to preach in Acts, so this would be a good time to do that. And also, if you just want a journal, if you just want to journal by yourself and get into this, there's still time to do this. So get a group, start a group if you want to be interested in that. And that can be done anytime during the week, 7 days a week.
We're going to start a student D group September 5th. We're going to do them on Sunday nights. And so parents out there, if your student didn't share that information with you, we are going to attempt to do that. And
yes.
they can handle it. And we're going to start right in wherever that week is, because I think it's important that their reading go along with the sermons. And if we go back and start with Genesis, it's all going to be out of whack. So, and I would guess if you want to start a group in September, you would do that.
Yeah, and that's what an adult group can do. Adult group can pick up where we're at, or if they feel they want to go back, they can do that too.
Great.
But it all sync. Now, let me share this. When Chris completes this, though, this is obviously 10 questions. This will be 10 weeks. Really 11 if you count Dr. Whitney's first presentation.
Okay.
But what Pastor Chris will do at that point is obviously we know he's preaching. One of his sermons will be from a context of what we have read that week. But there's so much other rich stuff from the readings that he can't cover.
We don't go over together.
So what Chris is going to be doing after this is he's actually going to start covering just some summary of information, the stuff he's gleaned from his studies and what he's personally read from, for lack of better words, these other 4 readings that he wouldn't have covered that week.
Right.
So that'll be very good. And that's what Wednesdays will be. Sunday nights, touch base again on Sunday nights.
They're going to stay the same kind of rotation?
Yes. What we're doing right now on Sunday nights is, there'll be a few Sundays emphasis on prayer. Obviously, we'll have our church-wide business meeting on one of those 2 Sundays, one of those 4 Sundays a month. But also, the 4th Sunday of the month, we're trying to target some type of outreach. Now, it may not even be on a Sunday night. For example, it'll be 2 weeks ago now.
The cookouts.
We had the cookout. I mean, that was a Wednesday night, but that was the last week of the month, or around about.
Sure.
So those are just things we want to get church involved and emphasis on going out in the community. And it may be one Sunday evening where we're assembling packets for the gospel to every home. We have one last effort that we'll be doing there. Or we may be spending a Sunday when the Fall Harvest Festival comes. Actually, the Fall Harvest Festival will be on a Sunday night.
It will be.
It's the 5th Sunday.
It's the 5th Sunday. It's Halloween, day of Halloween.
So we're focusing on that.
Right.
So
more later.
Sundays will be dedicated to prayer time, church business meeting, and then some type of outreach emphasis.
Right.
That's pretty well it.
All right, great.
We want to be simple. We want to be complete, but still offer something to folks. But one other thing about Griefshare, I would really encourage you to do that. If you're interested in that, sign up through the church office. But also, we want to do some level of studies where we're reaching out in the community that can touch people. So for example, Griefshare's this quarter, in the fall, We may do something about marriage down the road. We may do something about families or parenting that really is pertinent not only to those who attend here at Parkland, but also that can be something that reaches out to our community.
So we should invite our friends to Griefshare.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, everyone
Yes.
that we know has been touched with
Okay,
death.
great. Great.
All right. Thanks for inviting me.
We good? We good?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
All
I'm
right,
honored.
well-
I'm honored to be on here this week.
Yes, that's
Hadn't been
right.
here before.
It is a professional show if I ever saw one.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, well, now we'll go back to Jason in the studio. That was very informative.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Now, last week Jason interviewed Brett about basketball, and today we've got PK. We had PK with the adult stuff, and then we'll go into students and children.
Yes.
And then at the end, Pastor Chris will do a recap and all that stuff, because there's lots of different things going on Wednesdays this fall.
And I'm just excited that we're getting to kick off, because
Yes.
this time last year it was like,
Oh my.
what do we do? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's exciting. So I'm like hearing what Pastor PK had to say.
Okay, what's next? Oh, Sunday evenings. This Sunday we're going to pray again. And so if you did not come this past week, and Jason and I have motivated you to come join us this week. On the 8th, you'll want to be here for the student summer report. We'll talk about camp and the mission trip. May throw some VBS stuff in there with it, so we have all of it. And then we have business meeting.
And that's a change, because usually the second Sunday's business meeting, but we needed to move it back for a week, so that
Yeah, we flipped those a little bit.
coincided because school starts on the 11th.
Right.
And then we have a special service on the 22nd. We're still working out the details for that,
And then the 29th is outreach.
which will be connected, I believe, with kids basketball.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
Okay. If you are the parent or grandparent of a middle schooler, that would be any student entering 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, this Sunday, August 1st, down on the lower level, I'm going to have a parent meeting for middle schoolers. Bring the middle schooler with you, but don't just send the middle schooler by themselves. I need some parents there just to kind of walk you through what the student ministry does at Parkland, see if you have any questions that you may not want to answer in front of people that have been doing this a long time. So 6 o'clock on the lower level, middle school and parent meeting. Is that good?
And it's been 2 years since you've got to have
It
one of these.
is. It
and
is.
so-
We've got like almost 3 grades of kids. So any middle schooler. So it doesn't, not just new ones, but any of you, because we've got to get some details out and some catching up to do. We can do fundraisers again for camp. So we've got a lot to talk about.
It's going to be an exciting year.
It is. It is. All right, Pastor Jason, are we good?
I think we're good. Lots of stuff going on. I mean, we did our staff meeting yesterday.
Yes.
And August is full. September's almost full. I mean, it's like we went from nothing on the calendar
To everything.
To everything. So.
Yes. So, okay, then we will see you Sunday. And remember, put Jesus first in your life and invite a friend to church.
See y'all
Bye,
next
guys.
week.